Welcome back everyone, and in this video, we're going to go over 4 of the top AI stocks to take a look at in 2021. All 4 of these companies, as well as the entire AI sector as a whole, are expected to grow at a rapid rate for many years in the future. And artificial intelligence is already a large part of the technology we use every single day. And if you're unaware of what AI is, in kind of a simple definition, it is the computer science that is concerned with developing and creating machine learning platforms that are capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. And one common term associated with AI is machine learning. And again, in simple terms, to explain what that is, it is the science of getting a computer to learn and act like humans do. And we want these computers to actually improve their learning over time in an autonomous fashion. So how these actually develop and do this is by taking in more and more data to create better decision making and learn as time goes on through trials over the long term. So AI and machine learning are already a large part of the technology we use every single day. And what we're going to do in this video is go over 4 main players in the AI space, discuss how they're using artificial intelligence and machine learning to help drive their business further, and what they're planning to do and grow and develop over the long term. The 4 companies we're going to take a look at today are already market leaders in the AI industry, and they're expected to hold these massive leads ahead of their competition over the long term as well. But before we jump into the first company, if you're new to the channel, I am the Gen Z investor, and every single day we talk about the stock market, going over different stocks you can buy and sell, and discussing any major market news or headlines. So please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for daily videos about the stock market, and we're going to jump right in to the first AI stock to take a look at right now, which is Alphabet. So this is Google's parent company and is one of the largest brands in the world. Their current market cap is $1.17 trillion, and over the past 5 years, their share price has grown by 143%. So right now, Google is a leader in the tech industry and is one of the main players in the AI space. Taking a look at all the different products owned and operated by Google, you can see they are deeply integrated with artificial intelligence. All of the different services they provide use AI to help grow and develop and provide the best service to consumers. And their CEO has said, "We are witnessing a new shift in computing, the move from a mobile first to an AI first world. Google understands the importance of artificial intelligence to be a main player in technology over the long term, and their CEO understands this mission, and as a whole, the company is driven towards developing stronger AI services over the long term." So we use Google and AI every single day. Their Google search engine is powered by artificial intelligence, same with Google Ads, Google Maps, YouTube, where you're watching this video today, and all of their other main services that are commonly used by people every single day of their lives are all powered and use AI to help grow and learn. And there are a few industries within the entire field of artificial intelligence that Google has plans to prioritize over the next few years. And these areas include cloud, transportation, and healthcare, which each have a massive global addressable market that plays very well into Google's strength in artificial intelligence right now. And along with internally developed programs and systems, Google is also making a ton of acquisitions to acquire smaller AI-focused brands and bring them under the Google umbrella. You can see over the past 8 years, the company's made countless acquisitions of smaller names to help grow and expand the artificial intelligence features that Google has on their services right now. And although Google is the breadwinner for Alphabet, they also own as a whole many other smaller names under the giant umbrella. So of course, Google is the main revenue driver and does bring in a majority of the net income for this business, but Alphabet also owns many other smaller names that they call other bets. These are much smaller companies who are really experimental in nature, but have plans to actually develop and grow into much larger entities over the long term. And one of the most popular brands under the Alphabet umbrella is Waymo. And this is an autonomous vehicle system that is actually using artificial intelligence to simulate other vehicles and pedestrians on the road. So they are using the system to help grow and expand their development and learning for autonomous driving in the future. And this is only one of the many highly experimental and fast-growing subsidiaries under the Alphabet umbrella. So as a whole, Google, we all know this company for being a leader in the tech space. they use AI to power a ton of their features, and as a whole, this company will only continue to grow for the long term. And one important factor of artificial intelligence is that it costs a ton of money. It takes hundreds of millions, billions of dollars to help develop and grow these platforms and services and actually create these programs that actually learn over the long term by themselves. But if we take a look at Google and their financial statements, you can see over the past 12 months, they brought in $171 billion of top line revenue and over $35 billion of net income. So this company has so much cash at their disposal, they bring in a ton of revenue each and every year. That revenue continues to expand at a massive rate, and Google has some of the best financial statements in the world. If we take a look at their balance sheet, right now the company has $132 billion in cash and investments sitting on the balance sheet. $132 billion of cash at their disposal to, of course, focus on research and development, continue to grow operations, advance their AI focus, and Google doesn't even pay out a dividend. They do not pay out a dividend, so there's not a lot of cash leaving the business other than some share buybacks. So they have so much cash left over to acquire a ton of businesses, focus on research and development, and I think as a whole, there's not many other brands that will kick Google out of their leader position in the AI world. And if we take a look at some estimated growth rates for Google, in the year 2021, we're expecting top line revenue to grow by more than 21%. And over the next 5 years in the future, we're expecting close to 17% annual growth from Google, and the company is actually considered a strong buy at this rating. The current price sits at around $1,700 per share, and the average price target is at over $1,940. So actually a lot of upside over the short term if the share price can hit this analyst expectation. So Google as a whole is one of the largest companies in the world. Their parent company Alphabet owns a lot of other subsidiaries, all focused on AI. Google understands its transition and where the future of technology is going, and I think as a whole, this major tech brand will continue to dominate their world over the long term. And the second company in the AI space that we're going to take a look at today is, of course, Amazon. They currently trade around $3,100 per share and have grown by more than 66% on the 1-year chart. Their current market cap is $1.56 trillion, and we all know Amazon for being one of the world's leaders in the e-commerce sector. But as a whole, they are making some huge bets on artificial intelligence. And their system, AWS or Amazon Web Services, is one of the largest cloud computing businesses in the world, and it also offers a ton of AI tools for its customers. AWS's voice recognition, speech-to-text tools allow AI developers to create their own services using those tools and systems. But Amazon isn't just using AI for its AWS business, it also integrates it into all company-wide systems. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are huge parts of Amazon overall business, and it just makes sense. If you take a look at their Alexa voice-activated products, those use machine learning and AI every single second of the day to grow and become smarter. The Amazon Go stores use AI and machine learning to help understand what customers' needs are, what they're buying, without having any cashiers. And one of the leaders in Amazon's revenue streams is the actual frequently bought together, or customers who bought this also bought this item, purchase recommendations on their Amazon e-commerce platform. And those services and those recommended engines allow for 35% of Amazon's total sales. And one of the main areas where Amazon is using continuous AI is to actually understand the need of the customer. What is the reason they're searching for these products? What goes well with these products? And that's a huge driver of their business because their recommendation engine, which is all completely powered by artificial intelligence, drives 35% of their total sales. And I think as a whole, Amazon has some of the best AI systems in place because the fact that this company brings in a ton of revenue each and every year, and their services are powered by machine learning, artificial intelligence, and understanding how humans are going to react and behave to certain stimuluses, really understand why this company is a leader in the e-commerce world and overall a leader in the entire technology space. And if we take a look, like I already mentioned with Google, it takes a ton of cash to develop and grow AI services. And Amazon has just that. Total revenue over the past year are approaching $350 billion, which is absolutely insane. And their net income over the past year is at over $17.3 billion. So another business who has a ton of leftover net income to focus and grow their research and development. And of course, we all know Amazon. We all know they're going to be a main player in the tech space over the long term. And over the next 5 years, we're expecting 32% per year growth from this business over the next 5 years in the future. They're considered a strong buy at this current level, and the current share price of $3,120 sits well below the average analyst expectation, which is currently above $3,800. So a ton of potential upside in Amazon stock if it can hit this analyst price target over the next 12 months. So as a whole, Amazon's entire business is really focused on AI, the delivery centers, the actual e-commerce platforms, their Amazon Web Services. So much of their overall business focuses on machine learning, artificial intelligence, learning and understanding the consumer, and growing that knowledge each and every day as time goes on. And now the third company in the AI space that is expected to grow at a huge rate for many years in the future is Nvidia, ticker NVDA. The company currently trades around $520 per share and has a $318 billion market cap. Over the past year, the company's grown by 109%, and on a longer term chart, the past 5 years, they are up close to 1,800%, which is absolutely incredible. And this company and their chips have nearly powered every single major AI breakthrough. They are really the powerhouse that drives the innovation of the artificial intelligence world. And if we take a look, they are the one company with a booming AI business, and as a whole, their chips are light years ahead of their competition. Its newest system, the A100, is described as an AI supercomputer in a box. It has more than 54 billion transistors, and it's the most powerful chip system ever created. In fact, just one A100 packs the same computing power as 300 data center servers, and it does it all in 1/10 of the cost and takes up 1/16 the space. And it all runs on 1/20 of the power consumption of a typical server room, and a single A100 reduces a whole room of servers to one single rack. So they created the most powerful chip ever created in history, and this is really going to help the company, and this is the chip that is used to help drive the future of artificial intelligence. And Nvidia is the epicenter of disruption. They considerably have a monopoly over the neutral network training, and every major breakthrough worth mentioning has been powered by Nvidia GPUs. And overall, the company, of course, is operating in many different sectors of artificial intelligence, but one of the ones that are expected to grow their top line over the next 5 to 10 years is their chips involved with autonomous driving. Nvidia crafted its drive chips specifically for self-driving vehicles. This company also partnered up with NIO, the large Chinese brand, and other major EV players all use Nvidia chips in their systems. So if this company is the power behind AI, and AI is the future of our technology system, that means Nvidia is going to be a large driving force for many years in the future. And in September of 2020, the company also announced a major acquisition. They acquired ARM for $40 billion, which will help create the world's premier computing company for the age of AI. This is a huge acquisition and was actually one of the largest in this tech space, and the transaction, valued at $40 billion, is expected to complete later on this year. And overall, this combination brings Nvidia's leading AI computing platform with ARM's vast ecosystem to create a premier computing company for the age of artificial intelligence. This accelerates innovation while expanding into a large high-growth market, and SoftBank, the company they are buying it off, will remain committed to ARM's long-term success through its ownership stake in Nvidia, which is just expected to be under 10%. And the founder and CEO of Nvidia was quoted as saying, "AI is the most powerful technological force of our time and has launched a new way of computing." So as a whole, Nvidia is going to be the backer. They have huge GPUs and chips that are going to lead the future of AI. They made this major acquisition to help expand their market and their business. And they have some major tech firms as huge customers of their chips. Microsoft has announced that they will be using Nvidia's AI on the Azure platform. American Express has adopted Nvidia AI technology to help prevent fraud and foil cybercrime. And overall, many other healthcare companies like GlaxoSmithKline are also applying AI in drug and vaccine discovery processes. So this company is highly diversified. Their chips are powering so many different aspects of artificial intelligence, and Nvidia is still expected to be a main player for many years in the future. And over the next 5 years, the company is expected to grow by more than 22% per year. and the average price target over the next 12 months sits at $592 per share. So again, at least another 10 to 15% upside from where we are today. And we have finally made it to the fourth and final AI stock we are going to discuss today, and that company is Microsoft. They are currently up 30% on the 1-year chart and trade at a $1.6 trillion market cap. We already know this company. They are the second largest company in the world, and overall Microsoft, again, similar to Google, similar to Amazon and Nvidia, is a leader in the tech space. All four companies today are already very large, but that does not mean they can't climb even higher, and I do believe the four companies we discussed today are going to be much larger over the next 5, 10, 15 years because of their AI platforms. And why I discussed these major players and not some smaller cap companies was because these companies actually have the funds, the billions of dollars of cash on hand to fund these operations. The AI developments are going to cost a ton of money. To actually grow and expand and become smarter, these systems will cost billions of dollars. And smaller AI companies won't have the funds to actually compete with these major big 5 names. So I think any smaller company that actually can compete will get acquired, and that's why if you just own these larger names, the smaller ones that actually have some potential will eventually go under the umbrella of these larger cap companies. They have plans to use AI to help develop and cure different health diseases and accelerate different global health initiatives. This is a longer term play, but I really like the fact that this artificial intelligence can actually understand different, symptoms, different diseases, and actually try to find a way to help solve and prevent these for many years in the future. And overall, this new cloud-based system and AI-powered devices are really growing at a fast rate, and the actual exponential growth rate of Microsoft Azure platform is outpacing Amazon Web Services and Google's cloud network. It is the fastest growing cloud network in the world from a major player. And revenue growth for Azure was up 48% year over the latest quarter. And the entire revenue from Intelligent Cloud was just over $13 billion, which was a 20% increase from the prior year's numbers. And again, Microsoft is another brand that continues to expand at a massive rate year over year. Over the past 12 months, total revenue is $147 billion, and net income is at $47.5 billion. That's insane, and this company brings in a ton of cash each and every year. And if we take a look at their balance sheet, they have close to $138 billion of cash on the balance sheet right now, once again available for future development in research and growth, and as a whole will make this business much larger in the future than where it is today. If we take a look at some future growth expectations, the company's share price is expected to grow by around 14.5% per year over the next 5 years. And in my personal opinion, I think that's a little bit more of a bearish expectation. I think we can see 20+% growth from Microsoft over the next 5 years in the future. And the share price is considered a strong buy right now. And over the next 12 months, the average analyst expectation is at $240 per share. So a ton of upside from where we are today. And those were 4 different companies. We're going to wrap up this video today who are all focused on artificial intelligence. They already use AI right now in a ton of their business operations. And these are the brands who, when they use it right now, their platforms are learning and growing each and every day, each and every month. And these are the companies that I believe are going to be long-term successes in the AI world. And like we saw, AI is expected to grow by more than 40% per year over the next 5 years. So I think these companies are already large players that are going to see a ton of upside when the use of artificial intelligence continues to expand and really does become a huge predominant factor in everything we do every single day. So thank you for watching, everyone. Today was a little bit of a longer video. I am the Gen Z Investor, and those were 4 different companies from the AI space to take a look at in 2021.